His Excellency Mr. Abdoul, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of Mali, chair the meeting of Foreign Ministers of the Confederation of Sahel States, ASS, in Ouagadougou last Wednesday. The details in this program. The President of the Transition, General Assimi Goïta, Head of State and Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, presided over the graduation ceremony of the 47th class of the Koulikoro Inter-Arms Military Academy Emilia in Koulikoro last Friday, first in this edition. The 7th European Union Summit was held in Luanda, Angola, on the 24th and 25th of November 2025, celebrating 25 years of partnership between the two continents. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to English World News from Liberty One, the web of reference. The Prime Minister, Major General Abdoul Maiga, chaired a regular meeting of the Interministerial Committee for Crisis and Disaster Management on Tuesday, the 25th of November 2025. Discussion focused on the supply of fuel and essential goods. Participants unanimously welcomed the significant progress made in fuel supply. This progress is largely attributed to the rapid implementation of a memorandum of understanding recently signed with oil companies. The memorandum notably allows for a drastic reduction in the waiting time for tanker trucks at the Malian Petroleum Products Office, OMAP, making customs clearance possible in less than 24 hours. This speed has led to the elimination of queues at service stations in the capital. The Prime Minister commended the entire government and the oil companies for the responsiveness and the effective implementation of this protocol. The meeting also addressed the critical situation in regions still experiences fuel shortages. Logistical and escort solutions for the priorities resupply were discussed. To maintain this positive momentum, new specific objectives were set for the committee's new next session, scheduled for Tuesday of next week, according to Malijet. His Excellency Mr. Abdoul, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, chaired the meeting of Foreign Ministers of the Confederation of Sahel States, ASS, whose head of state holds the presidency of the ASS Confederation on Wednesday, the 26th of November 2025 in Ouagadougou in Burkina Faso. The meeting was held in preparation for the Confederation session of the Council of Ministers, which is itself a preparatory meeting for the second session of the College Head of State of the ASS Confederation. The Foreign Ministers of the ASS Confederation review draft documents for a session of the Council of Ministers, including legal instruments and activity reports. At the opening of the proceedings, Their Excellencies Mr. Karim Jean-Marie Traoré, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Regional Cooperation and Burkinabe, Abroad of Burkina Faso, and Mr. Bakary Yao Sangare, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Cooperation and Nigerians abroad of the Republic of Niger, delivered speeches followed by the opening address of His Excellency Mr. Abdoul, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of the Republic of Mali. The ministers congratulated the progress made by the Confederation in the areas of defense, security, diplomacy, and development, as well as the courage of the security forces in the face of terrorist groups and the resilience of the Sahelian populations and the support of the Confederation's authorities. They also condemned the hostile media campaign against the Sahel countries aimed at destabilizing the institutions of the three countries. Specifically, Minister Diop expressed valid gratitude to Burkina Faso and Niger for the active solidarity with Mali in the context of the energy crisis stemming from the obstacle created by armed terrorist groups. Following the meeting, the ministers adopted a summary of conclusions and issued a press release. On the sidelines of the meeting, the foreign ministers of the ASS Confederation were receiving audience by His Excellency Captain Ibrahim Traoré, President of Burkina Faso, Head of State, according to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. Prime Minister Major General Abdoul Maiga presided over the opening ceremony of the 5th edition of the International Handicrafts Fair of Mali, Siama, on Thursday, the 27th of November 2025, at the Bamako Exhibition Center, in the presence of the Minister of Handicrafts, Culture, Hospitality and Tourism, Mr. Mamadou Daffy. Several members of the government, ministers from Burkina Faso and Niger, guest countries and honor, and prominent figures from the political and cultural spheres. Under the theme, Handicrafts, a driver of development and safeguarding our cultural identity, Siama 2025 brings together more than 1,118 exhibitors from all regions of Mali, and 15 guest countries, including Burkina Faso and Niger, as countries of honor, and Morocco as a special guest. In his speech, the head of the government emphasized the importance of handicrafts for the socio-economic and cultural development of a country, representing 24.2% of the GDP and employing more than 40% of the working population. He also expressed his satisfaction with the expected participation in the events, highlighting the commitment to friendship and international cooperation. The year 2025, designated the Year of Culture in Mali, highlights the International Handicraft Fair, SIAMA, to promote local consumption, encourage creativity, showcase traditional skills, and revitalize cultural identity. SIAMA, which will run until on the 7th of December 2025, is establishing itself as a showcase of African creativity and an economic and cultural driver for Mali. The Prime Minister welcomed the delegations from Burkina Faso, Niger, and Morocco, emphasizing the importance of partnerships for the development of handicrafts, according to the Prime Minister's office. The President of the Transition, General of Army Assimi Goïta, Hero of the States, and Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, presided over the graduation ceremony of the 47th class of the Kulukuru Inter-Arms Military Academy EMIA in Kulukuru on Friday, the 28th of November 2025. The ceremony was attended by the Prime Minister, the President of the National Transitional Council, the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, the Governor of the Kulukuru region, the Major, and several members of the government. Chief of Staffs, Directors of Armed Forces Services, diplomats accredited in the Republic of Mali, as well as partners and friends of the country were also present at this important ceremony. The 47th graduating class of the EMIA Inter-Army Military Academy, comprised of 343 young officers, took their oath before the flag. The regular program, with 325 officers, including 34 women from 9 countries, underscores the institution's regional focus. Mali has 311 officers, including 32 women, from various specializations, including a new one to recruit experts in specific fields, particularly in military engineering, communications and telecommunications, military health, equipment and hydrocarbons, and institutional communication. Second Lieutenant Idrissa Chama graduated at the top of his class in the regular program with an average of 16.6 out of 20. Lieutenant Husseini Traoré graduated at the top of his class in the specialized program with an average of 15.19 out of 20. Power staff cooperation, particularly in Uganda, was congratulated. In fact, 19 officers from this class have completed a training module in Uganda, just like 18 of their seniors from the previous class. During their training, the young officers underwent comprehensive instruction, including tactical training, physical conditioning, and specialized modules. In his address to the press, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, General Assimi Goïta, emphasized the significance of a choice of patron, paying tribute to Brigadier General Pangasi Sangare. He encouraged the new officers to embody the values of loyalty and dedication, while honoring the memory of fallen soldiers. The Head of State reiterated the importance of leadership and cohesion in ongoing operations, offering the young officers advice for their future careers. Major General Umar Jara, Chief of the General Staff of Armed Forces, congratulated the new officers, emphasizing the importance of Republican values and leadership. He stressed the importance of respecting international humanitarian law and responsibility of section leaders. General Jara encouraged the cadets to prepare for field operations, emphasizing cohesion and the transmission of mission principles. He also encouraged the foreign officers to represent the Kulukuru Military Academy EMIA with distinction and to promote African military cooperation. This 47th graduating class is the last to benefit from the 2-year training program. The 48 class already underway marks the return of a 2-year curriculum in accordance with the authorities' commitment to strengthening the quality and depth of training for future officers of the Malian Armed Forces, according to the Presidency of Mali. At the international level, the 7th African Union-European Union Summit was held in Luanda, in Angola, on the 24th and 25th of November 2025, celebrating 25 years of partnership between the two continents. During the summit, the personalities talked about key priorities such as peace and security, trade and regional integration, green and energy transition, digital transformation, mobility and migration, and multilateralism and global governance. The European Union and the African Union reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening their partnership with a focus on economic cooperation, security, and the energy transition. The European Union announced the mobilization of 150 billion euros to support development projects in Africa by 2030. The two parties launched a joint initiative to develop renewable energy in Africa with 15.5 billion euros in funding. The European Union is Africa's largest trading partner, with trade reaching 238.9 billion euros in 2023. The summit also addressed peace and security issues, particularly in Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo, as well as the migration crisis. Both sides reaffirmed their commitment to upholding multilateralism and promoting cooperation. At the 7th African Union-European Union Summit, African leaders called for a result-based partnership with the European Union, breaking with traditional aid approaches. Rather than one-off donations, they called for strategic investment in infrastructure, energy, industry, and digital technologies, sectors deemed essential for accelerating economic integration through the AfCFTA and boosting job creation, according to Africa 24. The summit concluded without any immediate major decisions, but with a reaffirmation of commitment to a strategic and sustainable partnership. Chinese leader Xi Jinping and US President Donald Trump spoke by telephone on Monday, the 25th of November 2025. This call followed their fruitful in-person meeting in South Korea on 30th of October 2025 and aimed to maintain the positive momentum in bilateral relations. They had also held a telephone conversation on 19th of September 2025. On 24th November 2025, phone call between Xi Jinping and Donald Trump, described as positive, friendly, and constructive by the Chinese side, covered several key points. In fact, the two leaders emphasized the importance of maintaining the positive momentum in U.S.-China relations based on equality and implementing the consensus reached during the previous meeting in Busan, South Korea in October. Xi Jinping reminded Donald Trump that the return of Taiwan to China was an integral part of a post-war international order and stressed the importance of the issue for China. The presidents discussed the war in Ukraine. Xi Jinping reiterated China's support for all efforts conducive to peace and expressed hope that a fair, lasting, and binding peace agreement will be reached soon. They addressed the issue of mutual interest, including trade and the fight against fentanyl. Xi Jinping expressed his willingness to welcome Donald Trump to China for another visit. The two leaders agreed that the respective teams will continue to work together to implement the agreements and will hold another round of talks soon. China's leader Xi Jinping urged President Donald Trump to help safeguard the post-war order, an implicit reference to supporting Beijing claims to Taiwan during their phone call, which Chinese analysts interpret as a victory in the tense standoff between Beijing and Japan. According to the Chinese official accounts of Monday's call, Xi told Trump that the return of Taiwan, a semi-autonomous territory to China, was an important element of the allies' victory, according to the Washington Post. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of English One News from Maliba TV1, the web of reference. I thank you for joining me. You have all my respect and all my considerations. God bless, protect, and assist you forever. See you next week.